It's college basketball on ESPN from Austin, Texas. Tonight at the Irwin Center, the Texas Longhorns welcome a Big East foe in the Friars of Providence. Courtside alongside former Purdue All-American Robbie Hummel, I'm Chucky Kemp. Non-conference play is winding down right now, Robbie. This is a win when you look back in the season that really could mean something with March. Conference play right around the corner. Tonight, where do you see the impact being made?
Well, I think it has to be at the point guard position. I think both these teams very good point guards. Matt Coleman re-jumpstarts his season against Purdue, goes for 22 the last two games. He's been very good. You see him shooting the basketball much better, 60% from the field, 62% from three, an area where he hasn't shot the ball that well. On the flip side of things for Providence, David Duke, a freshman point guard, hometown kid from Providence, Rhode Island, has sort of struggled here as of late. You look at his numbers, just averaging 5 points a game, has not shot the ball well from downtown, but a guy that right now just has to run the show, be a point guard for Ed Cooley's team tonight.
Really just the second true road game for Providence of this season. It's a good test against a pretty talented Texas Longhorns team. There's Kerwin Roach. Certainly a guy they'll miss if he is not able to go, but we kind of saw him and just doesn't quite look right.
We saw him at shoot around. They said dealing with a little bit of a stomach deal. And like you said, just didn't have a ton of energy at shoot around. And that's a big loss because you look at when he has not played well, this Texas team has not won games. So if he can't go tonight, gonna have to be Eli Mitru-Long, Matt Coleman, gonna have to have some guys step up.
You see Mitru-Long in that starting lineup for the third time this season, trying to get something going. Possible shot there, but Coleman's pass off the mark. There's Osetkowski going to work. That's a strong move from him. Can't get the right hook to go. Early foul on Osetkowski.
Well, tough start. Dylan Osetkowski makes a nice move. Gets to right where he wants to go. Right to his jump hook. Has a defender and Jimmy Nichols, who's a freshman. Definitely can't match the physicality that Osetkowski brings to the table, and leaves it short and picks up a foul less than 30 seconds into this game.
David Duke inside, can't get it to go. Osetkowski with the rebound. Screen from Sims. Mitru-Long back to Coleman. His first shot of the game, no good. And rebound Diallo, who leads them in virtually every category there is. Nice move from White, but lost control. Maybe Texas basketball. Malik White, since A.J. Reeves has been out, the outstanding freshman, first 7 games only averaged 4 points per game. The last 4, 13 points per game. He's stepped up big for them.
And since he's moved into the starting lineup, a guy that Providence has needed. Now, they haven't played the best competition, but in those 2 games, averaging 17 a game, 5 assists, shooting the basketball with a lot of confidence. And you wonder, when A.J. Reeves comes back, is this something where this is going to benefit Providence? Because now you obviously know what A.J. Reeves brings to the table. Now you've got Malik White playing with so much more confidence.
Duke, a nice crossover. Hits the mid-range, our first bucket of the game.
You have to think, for the freshman right there, that's a huge confidence booster. Shooting just 24% on mid-range jumpers, gets that one to go.
Osetkowski stretching the floor. Sims keeps it alive. Just ran down by White. Numbers at that end, easy layup. Nice transition offense. Nichols gets the bucket.
A slow start for Texas, and you're going to have to get back. This Providence team will be opportunistic in transition right there. Just a complete lapse in transition defense.
Sims wasn't there. Good help defense. Over to Mitru-Long, who drops it. A turnover on Texas.
Well, this is going to be an interesting game. We're going to see Providence getting out in the open floor. Nobody back for Texas, but Texas offensively is going to have some opportunities. This is a big help side defense game for Providence. Have to have guys on the weak side over. Texas is going to play a ton of pick and roll, and they have bigs that can roll to the rim, put you on a poster.
Nice little mid-range shot there. Khalif Young Jr. from Ontario.
Khalif Young, not really a guy that looks for his own shot. Can't shoot it to 15 feet, but season high just 6 points. I think anything you get from him is icing on the cake.
Mitru Long again, Sims with another screen. I like their defense with the pick and roll early on.
So far, so good. They've done a good job impacting the ball handler and also being in on the roller.
Ed Cooley told us at shoot around, we've got to eliminate those big energy plays from them, those lobs. And we'll see, certainly, eventually, we'll probably see one leak through, but early on, like you said, they've defended it well.
He's absolutely right. You look at the bigs that Texas has. Jericho Sims, Jackson Hayes, two guys that if you're not in early, you're going to be in trouble. Eli Mitru Long just moving the feet there, and David Duke is going to be a huge part of this Providence offense going forward. Almost a frustration foul right there. Going to need him, going to need Mekhi Ashton Langford, Malik White. Always tough on young point guards in road venues.
We see some of that Texas youth right now. 3 freshmen into the basketball game for the Longhorns. Here is Jackson Hayes diving to the basket, but got caught up on Mitru Long. Coleman. That's what they needed.
Matt Coleman just really putting his head down and making a play. They're going to need him to do things like that where he gets to the rim and breaks the defense down. No Kerwin Roach. I have to think a lot of that responsibility will be Coleman. Texas has to help itself on this end of the floor, though. Defensively, you got to make plays, help your offense when you can get stagnant in the half court.
Into the big man, they double. Good cut from Diallo.
Well, a breakdown there from Texas defense. That's Matt Coleman. You got to be in when that basketball is on the other side. You have to be at the nail. Nobody picks up the roller, and Providence again finds itself with a really easy basket.
6-point lead for the Friars early on. Coleman again. Ramey. It's tipped out of bounds. Well, yeah, it was. Good start for Providence on the road. 15 to play in the first half. 8-2, the Friars lead it.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball, and Nissan, innovation that excites.
It's been an up and down season for Texas. They're 7-3, but you might think those losses have come in other places. Led Michigan State by almost 20 points at one point, and then these 2 losses were the ones that really hurt. They bounced back big, though. Purdue, a Grand Canyon team that's really not that bad, but the Purdue win at home was big. Their 3 losses you just wouldn't imagine are where they are.
No, and I think tonight is a good, really microcosm of their season. We have seen offensively them get stagnant. Matt Coleman, the only player so far that's been able to get to the rim for their 2 points, and really their offense hasn't helped their defense. They've got 2 turnovers, and that's led to 4 easy points for Providence. Have to think this defense for Texas, which they're known for, is going to have to be better.
Coleman chucks one up late in the shot clock. Rebound Nichols, and here comes Duke. Another double team from the 2 big men. 8 to shoot for White. Steps back for 3, nails it. Providence has hit 5 of their last 5, and an answer here this time. Ramey knocks down the triple.
And what a big shot for this Texas offense. Courtney Ramey off the bench, really a tough kid. He's kind of stepping up to the plate there, making a play and taking the lid off this basket. Defensively, this is where Providence really tests you. They love to run this flex offense. Have to be on the same page. It's a scouting report defense. Have to know what each individual defender is doing.
There's Jackson Hayes, and he could be a big difference defensively. Can cover so much ground. Ramey lob to Hayes. There it is.
There's that weak side defense, and what a great time for a drag pick and roll. Nobody home for Jackson Hayes on the backside, and Texas's offense all of a sudden waking up.
Jackson Hayes, such an energy guy for this team. Nichols guarded by Hepa. See that long arm of Hayes reaching out. Nice shot by White. He continues his hot shooting.
Playing with a lot of confidence, as we said. And again, flex action, good screen, frees him, and he curls it so well. Gets right to his pull-up jumper.
Trying to feed it to Hayes again. And a turnover. Let's take a listen. Shaka Smart in the huddle just a moment ago.
Hey, listen, we've got some really good shots, all right? Some really good looks. Now, we got to hit our teammate in the chin. Hit your teammate in the chin so he can jump into the shot and shoot it.
I love the hit your teammate in the chin, because as a shooter, it is so difficult to make shots when that basketball is not delivered on time or on target. So Shaka Smart reaffirming that point with his guys, giving them confidence to shoot the basketball when they're open.
Nice extra pass inside, a little low. Nate Watson couldn't handle it.
Texas going a little 2-3 zone, and almost a textbook example of how to beat it. Providence gets the ball to the middle, and unfortunately for the Friars, aren't able to handle that pass. Could have been a dunk.
This is a Providence team that can shoot the three as well, close to 40% on the season. There's a contested one. Rebound Hayes. .30 to play, first half. Providence by 6. Osikowski down the lane. Can't get it to go in tight. There's Ramey, and one opportunity.
Well, that basket again, Courtney Ramey, right place, right time, but it's really set up by a bad gamble. You have a defender, Isaiah Jackson, through the passing lanes, allowing Dylan Osikowski to get downhill, and you got to block out. This is a really athletic and long Texas team. Courtney Ramey coming off one of his best games of his career, 10 points, 8 rebounds against Grand Canyon, or excuse me, 8 assists. Those 8 assists, a career high for him, has looked really good tonight.
Ramey forces David Duke into his second foul, so he's off. Makai Ashton Langford now leading the charge for Providence.
This is where Alpha Diallo has to operate in the middle of this 2-3 zone. A guy that can not only score the ball for himself, but also get others involved. Providence is going to flash multiple guys into that high post area.
Guess who? Malik White again.
But a great possession. You know, that basketball moving, you got guys flashing in and out of the high post, and right now Providence's offense really in sync.
Ramey again. He's been good early on. Hayes. They get a foul first on the floor.
Texas fortunate. I thought Jackson Hayes traveled there.
Texas coming back, just down 5. 11:46 to play, first half. Spend Saturday watching college football bowl games on ESPN, and it is a quadruple header. The Jared Birmingham Bowl, Memphis, Wake Forest at noon Eastern, then 3:30, Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl with Houston and Army. The Dollar General Bowl follows that at 7 o'clock. Buffalo and Troy go head-to-head, and at 10:30, the SoFi Hawaii Bowl, Hawaii and Louisiana Tech. All 4 games also available on the app. That's where I'll be watching as we head home from Austin tomorrow. It's a full day of football. College football playoff right around the corner. Texas has it underneath their own basket. Courtney Ramey stays in the basketball game, 10 to shoot.
And this is where Texas finds themselves in trouble, but not here. Jackson Hayes is going and making a play right from that elbow. And that's why NBA scouts salivating over this kid. So long, so skilled. Really an incredible story. You know, a guy that averaged 2 points as a junior for his high school team, played 6 minutes a game. Now looked at as probably a guy that's going to be a first-round draft pick someday.
I gotta think scouts are more excited than a kid that they have watched for years that's been good. You see a kid like this who's developed so quickly. It's gonna be a foul on Watson.
There he is, Jackson Hayes, just catching the ball right at the free throw line, putting it on the floor and showing you the ability to finish. That is where he excels. Getting downhill and honestly just an elite dunker. You see what he's done. A guy that doesn't just get better by the week, it's better by the day. The sky the limit for that young man.
Asked Shaka Smart, hey, what's his ceiling? And he kind of shook his head. He looked up and he said,
here's what the MJ quote.
I don't know, yeah.
The ceiling is the roof, right?
Coleman pull up, air ball. Lob over the top. Watson running the floor well. Let's listen in. Ed Cooley in the last huddle.
The way they're defending us with their four-man, it's open. You understand? You get whatever you want. Now, when we switch, it has to be with great communication. We need to take a charge. We need to gang rebound. Gang rebound.
Ed Cooley just talking about making winning plays, and he's right. The communication when you switch, so important. It sounds like something that should be so easy, but you believe me, it's not. A lot of guys have a hard time talking through defensive assignments, and it's amazing when you have somebody that can do it, especially a big guy that can talk your guards through pick and roll. It makes a huge difference.
Six to shoot for Ramey. Long three. Courtney Ramey, have yourself a night.
And Courtney Ramey again bailing out this Texas offense. Really nothing doing. He has multiple times tonight on the offensive end of the floor gone and made a play. That's a tough shot. Shot clock winding down. Courtney Ramey, like you said, he's come to play.
Ramey has 9. Texas has hit 5 of their last 7 from the field. Strong move inside and a foul drawn. That's Drew Edwards.
Courtney Ramey calling for a ball screen. Gonna use it, just step back, gets the mismatch, Isaiah Jackson, and gets some space, just knocks down that three with the shot clock winding down.
Courtney Ramey, a freshman from St. Louis, all-time leader at Webster Groves in points and assists. Just under 2,000 points in his high school career. He's coming off his best collegiate performance, 10 points. 8 assists, 4 rebounds, a couple steals. He was big time against Grand Canyon.
Certainly not afraid to mix it up. Shaka Smart told us today, a tough kid. Dad was his AAU coach, and kid that was ranked in the 50s in terms of his class. Just a really good player, and that's one thing Shaka Smart has done. He has brought talent into Austin.
Like I said, Courtney Ramey got here day one. He's one to pick guys up full court. He was ready to compete. Good find in the corner. I think they're going to get Jackson Hayes on a rebounding foul.
But again, that's Courtney Ramey taking that handoff and getting Jace Febris a wide open shot. That's one Shaka Smart will live with all day. You're getting your best three-point shooter a good look from the corner. Got to credit Ramey again, making plays out here.
Been all freshmen for Texas so far. 13 of their 15, Hayes and Ramey. Foul's going to go against Hepa. Hepa's second. There you see it. Ramey has 9, Hayes with 4, 5 for 5 combined. 2 of those from Ramey, been from long range.
Got to be aware here on under out of bounds against an Ed Cooley coach team. And as I say that, maybe one of their worst inbound plays of the year. Makai Ashton Langford just throwing it to the other team.
Good feed to Hayes, and he slams it with 2 hands. Hayes had some words for Ashton Langford after that, and he's going to get teed up. Shaka Smart doesn't like it.
That's a great drive by Eli Mitru-Long, and an even better pass. See the small window, and yep, there's Jackson Hayes turning back, has something to say to Mekhi Ashton-Langford. That's one of those where it depends on what he said, but that happens quite a bit. So Mike Eads, it had to have been something that Mike Eads just felt was unacceptable, because he's one of the best officials in all of college basketball.
Drew Edwards will shoot it. A technical on Hayes gives him 2. 2 fouls on the evening. Shaka trying to get a clarification. Couldn't tell completely. It looked like he said let's go, but obviously, like you said, you wouldn't imagine that would draw the technical.
Right.
To get in his face.
You would think it would have to be something profane or something where,
And that's certainly, you watch Jackson Hayes highlights this season, you watch him in every game. One, you're going to see him at the rim, but he's a fiery kid. He's an energetic kid.
And I will say, Mekhi Ashton-Langford's reaction to it was not let's go. I mean, he was not happy about what was said to him.
Sims and Hepa the bigs for Texas now.
Providence overloading the side right there. But they had Nate Watson just unable to get him the basketball.
3 from Jackson, no good. Foul goes against Nate Watson, his second. Khalif Young back in for him. Give Ramey a quick spell. Coleman back in, 8:51 to play first half.
Courtney Ramey has carried this Texas offense for stretches. What a great start he got off to. 9 points, perfect from the field, 3 of 3.
Mitru-Long hands off to Sims, but couldn't handle it. Ashton-Langford, coast to coast, high off the glass. Nice finish for the sophomore.
Really, that's the play Jericho Sims has to make. That basketball is right there for him to catch that thing and go tear the rim off. And it'll be interesting to see him. He's had an interesting season, up and down. It's been good in Texas's losses and bad in their wins, which makes 0 sense.
Tough finish from Febris. These two teams starting to get up and down right now. Jackson wants to try again for 3. Got it.
That's unacceptable, or unacceptable, I should say, if you're Texas. You just cannot leave a guy that's shooting 44% from 3. And really, Mekhi Ashton-Langford didn't even see him. Isaiah Jackson's clapping his hands and plenty of time to recover, but just no awareness there.
Febris to Mitru-Long. He's going to penetrate. Easy try, and they've missed a couple of those inside, Robbie.
They've gotten some good looks, and Eli Mitru-Long has gotten into the teeth of the defense, but again, one that he's got to make.
Big rebound, another 3. Jackson again. Providence getting hot right now.
Well, Isaiah Jackson coming into this game shooting 44% from 3, and the Texas D not doing a great job locating him and then getting off the offensive rebound. So far, so good for this Providence offense.
UFC fans, this is the moment you truly all been waiting for.
Thank you, Phil. We take a look at the Big East coaches preseason poll as Ositkowski fires 1 from 3. Providence picked to finish 3rd in there. Marquette just above them, and that's who Ed Cooley said he thinks might be the best team in this conference. He said, look, Nova's a monster, but Marquette looks really good right now.
Well, it's going to be a fun year in the Big East. You look at how much all of these teams have lost. Villanova really resetting after those national title runs. You look at a team like Providence that loses 46% of their scoring. It's really a reset year in the Big East, but going to be a fun one. A lot of parity, a lot of good teams.
Ramey back in for Texas. Draws the foul, a little too close from Ashton Langford. Since that Jackson Hayes technical foul, Providence on a 12-2 run. Hayes now back in there. That was big so far in this game.
The catalyst has been Isaiah Jackson.
Yep.
Doing damage from three, and really they've been Texas breakdowns and offensive rebounds that have really keyed those open shots.
Nice block from Nichols. Here's Ashton Langford.
Honestly, the Providence defense has been really good. They've really stagnated Texas and been able to use that D to turn it into some offense.
Tipped by Ramey. Four to shoot. Young pump fakes two, pulls up. Can't get it. Tipped away, and let's go back to the huddle with Shaka Smart.
You gotta fix it. You gotta find guys. 44 Jackson. He's hit 2 threes. No more. Run him off the line.
Well, he is absolutely right. Isaiah Jackson has been hot from three, and you're right. You got to run shooters off the line. Jackson, a guy that's really worked on his game, and look at what he did last year. Shot just 36% from three. This year, it's been a different story.
Trying to force it to Hayes. It'll end up, I believe, a jump ball, and that belongs to Providence.
You just kind of get the sense that Texas's sense of urgency right now just isn't there. You know, this Providence Friars team on the road, backs against the wall. It's just you and your teammates, and they seem to have more energy.
Is this a Texas team to you still trying to figure out who they want to be?
I think they're trying to find their identity. They've pressed more this year, and that's great. They have depth, they have length, they have athletes. But I think you have some guys like Dylan Osikowski is a great example of, does he want to shoot threes? Does he want to play inside? What is his strength going to be for this team? A guy that's very talented and still just trying to find his way.
Inside, left hand, Osikowski brings it down. Leaf Young slow to get back. Osikowski trying to take advantage into Hayes, and that has to be nice. You just reach up and you're at the rim.
Well, that's what Dylan Osikowski can do. He can make plays. Loves to play off the bounce, and a little no-look pass. It's a great look for Jackson Hayes.
Here comes Ramey in transition. Little hesitation move, and he is clobbered.
Well, I love that Courtney Ramey did not settle there. He gave a great hesitation move, but first we're going to look at Dylan Osikowski dropping the dime. No-look pass and change of pace, and well, that ball was never getting to the rim. Malik White ensuring that was not going to be an and one.
Ramey at 60% from the free throw line. Misses the first. On Saturday, December 29th on ESPN2, catch a basketball doubleheader. First noon Eastern, Davidson takes on number 9 UNC. Then at 2, number 19 Kentucky faces Louisville. College basketball next Saturday at noon and 2 Eastern, live on ESPN2 and of course on the ESPN app.
That North Carolina-Davidson matchup, that's going to be fun. That's in-state battle. Cam Johnson having a great season in North Carolina. Davidson, a team that could win the A-10. Should be fun. Bob McKillop, been at Davidson as an institution, has been there forever. Great coach.
Another turnover on Texas. Down comes White. Diallo trying to get involved off the glass.
But Malik White makes that play. He draws a defender. It's so much about timing. You're drawing that defense. You give it up too early, they can guard two people. But there, great timing, great feel. Malik White getting Alpha Diallo an easy bucket. Diallo, a guy that's been quiet. It's been really a mixture of guys. Providence has been so balanced today.
Ramey cross court, wide open three. Febres too strong, and Providence corrals it.
And that's the second look that Courtney Ramey has gotten Chase Febres, a guy that's made shots for Texas this year. And he hasn't been able to knock it down. It's the three-point shot so big for this Texas offense. They shoot a lot of them. Haven't shot a great percentage, but tonight I feel like they've generated some pretty good looks.
Diallo going to work again. Got Hayes in the air, still recovered. They'll get a foul anyway.
Well, Malik White comes into the starting lineup 2 days ago. How about this pass? Dropping the dime, getting your superstar going here down in Austin.
Kind of what we were talking about. Texas trying to find themselves. Providence, on the other hand, that 8 guys scored tonight. You look at their balanced attack.
When you're getting contributions from guys like Isaiah Jackson, Malik White, and the fact that Alpha Diallo has only attempted 3 shots, has 4 points, that's okay. They've really spread the wealth here tonight. And what those guys were saying about Texas, they're right. It just, right now, they're unable to manufacture a ton of good offense, and it doesn't help that Kerwin Roach is not playing tonight. But you just wonder, with Osikowski and Jericho Sims struggling, got to find ways to get some good shots.
There's Kerwin Roach on the Texas bench. Mitru Long, Coleman, hesitation, pull up. Not hitting those shots. Find a Jackson in the corner. White. Tough three. Osikowski brings it down.
See, can Texas get something here in transition? So much better when they're playing with some tempo and some pace. And there you see it. Jace Febres able to get to his dribble pull-up and knock down a jumper.
Seems like Diallo's starting to be a little bit more of a focal point in this offense.
He's going to post up right here. Has a huge mismatch size-wise. That's just too easy. Matt Coleman has no chance, though. Alpha Diallo just putting him in the weight room.
Great recognition. Mitru Long. Texas needed that. Cuts that lead to 10.
If I'm Providence, I'm going right back to Diallo, and I'm letting him play on the block. There you see, there's the screen, and Matt Coleman just physically cannot handle Diallo right now. There you see it. Going to post up on the block. That's 6'5", taking on 6'2". No Jackson Hayes, no Jericho Sims in the game. So that shot blocking presence, no fear for Providence at the rim right now. We'll see how long does Shaka Smart stay with this matchup. The problem being no Kerwin Roach. Don't have a ton of size with your guards. I'm not sure you want Jace Febres taking on Diallo either.
Coleman gets the rebound, and here comes Texas. Weaving through traffic, chucks one up, but he's going to get fouled. Chance to take it into the single-digit range.
So Matt Coleman's at his best. He is really good at changing pace. Almost a little herky-jerky sometimes. Loves that hesitation move, but I love right there they didn't settle. We've seen him miss some pull-up jumpers tonight. Did not settle there. Went to the rim, drew contact. Let's try to see yourself get to the line, make some easy ones, get yourself going.
Saturday, December 29th, the college football playoff semifinals brings us one step closer to crowning a national champion. 4 Eastern, number 2 Clemson, and number 3 Notre Dame. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Then at 8, number 1 Alabama faces Oklahoma and Heisman winner Kyler Murray. The Capital One Orange Bowl, the college football playoff, Saturday, December 29th, 4 and 8 Eastern on ESPN. Diallo almost lost it, taken away. Here comes Mitru Long. Oh, spin move inside. Couldn't finish. It was a good help defense. They will call a foul. Crafty spin move from Mitru Long.
Eli Mitru Long, looking like he's shot of a cannon here. Check out this footwork. Bang. Really impressive. Such a speedy guard. And those are the types of plays Texas needs to make. Their defense needs to help their offense get out in transition. They have struggled in the half court. That's a great way to jumpstart your offense.
Can't hit the second one. Lead is 8.
I like this. I like Texas picking up the tempo, make Providence handle it, give them a different look.
Nichols, left hand, short. Osikowski was in position, and he's fouled on the rebound.
We'll see. Those are the types of plays that when you're on the road playing an opponent like Texas, you just have to convert. That's a great drive by Jimmy Nichols, showing the length, showing the skill set. Gets to where he needs to go, but you can see the drive. Really a nice play, and that's one where just dunk it. You're there, just flush that thing.
Osikowski, one of the seniors on this Texas team, San Diego, California. Sat out 2 years ago after transferring from Tulane.
Yeah, honestly, looks like a new man. He's lost weight. We were talking with their staff today. They were saying how he really dedicated himself to getting his body right, eating healthy, and it shows.
Finally to Diallo, out wide. Pump fake inside. Mitru Long drew one earlier, and he does it again.
That's just a simple case of over-dribbling. You look at Malik White playing with a ton of confidence, as he should be. And this is one where it's a head fake, probably a one-dribble pull-up. That shot is there. You're going into a set. Eli Mitru Long running him over. Have to think a head fake and a pull-up would have been ideal there.
White shooting 40% from 3 as well. Had the catch and shoot on the right wing. It's his second foul.
A little run and jump here for Providence. Going to try to change the tempo. They get a steal.
Diallo wasn't going to pass that one up. Coleman has to foul.
That's what makes Alpha Diallo just so dangerous. He is so versatile. A guy that leads this team in points, rebounds, assists, minutes, steals. The run and jump, just a lazy pass. Diallo out in the passing lanes using that length. And as good as any in the Big East Conference, he gets going downhill. Good luck. Leads the conference in free throws attempted. He finds himself right back at that free throw line right now.
Alpha Diallo was the 95th recruit on the ESPN 100 out of Brewster Academy, New York, New York. I can get on board with this guy. He's a Harry Potter fan, so I'm all in. He has paced them in every way. Providence back up 8, 1:31. Ramey back in for Coleman. There's some foul trouble across the board right now. Texas a little more than Providence, but both with multiple players with 2. Hayes has 3 for Texas after the technical.
A lot of dribbling, a lot of standing. That basketball staying on the perimeter. And really unfortunate. And that's not a great possession against the 2-3 zone defense. Eli Mitru Long goes and makes a nice pull-up, but it's not a recipe to beat a good team like Providence.
And we've seen that in spurts from Texas, even in their good games. Really, when they beat Purdue, we saw that in the game.
The ball was moving,
Purdue.
It's popping, it's moving from side to side. You're getting shots early in the shot clock. And it helps when the ball goes in. There's no doubt about that. But they were generating high-quality looks against Purdue, Grand Canyon. And tonight, really, their only looks have come from their defense, trading turnovers, or from guys just going and making individual plays.
Mitru Long just drew the other charge and playing with some confidence right now. 8 of 10 at the line. It's Providence so far. Diallo into double figures.
Really, if you're Shaka Smart, you're going into halftime. You're down 7 or 8. That's really fortunate in my opinion. Whoa.
You ever do that?
In an AAU game, yes. In a college game, no. I've never airballed a free throw. But it's not a good feeling. That's not fun.
True Long again. Into the teeth of the defense, and that was just a bad matchup for him. Texas will remain in possession. Good hustle play from Royce Ham.
Well, it's a bad shot. You're driving a set defense, haven't moved the basketball at all, and you're forcing something that's just not there.
You don't want to talk about this graphic at all? Let you talk yourself up.
I was just going to ignore it if you were going to ignore it.
I watched some highlights last night. I was kind of giving you grief earlier about the. We saw some guys with some stylish celebrations.
I was a raw celebrator.
Yeah,
complete emotion, yes.
You kind of lost control. That's all right, though. 6 to shoot. True Long again, top of the key. Penetrating well. Ramey catch and shoot. No good. And they're going to stay at that end. It's a rebounding foul on Providence, so Texas a big chance here to go into the half with some momentum. Who are you looking for right here?
Well, again, what I was just saying, if you can go into the half just down 5, but the way you played, Osikowski's going to go to the line here, have a chance. And you just haven't played that well. So that's what you tell your guys, look, we can't really play much worse on the offensive end of the floor. We haven't made our open shots. We're right in this game. We're right where we want to be.
But Jericho Sims back in the game. We'll take a quick break. 12 to play in the first half. Good little run for Texas to close out the half. 10-2 at the moment. Providence shooting well tonight, though. And what do you expect here at the end of the half?
Well, I'm looking Alpha Diallo. He has really asserted himself at the end of this half, gotten himself to the free throw line. And you look at what he can do in the post, the way that he can drive guys. I would think whether it's Febres guarding him or Matt Coleman. Well, it's not going to be Matt Coleman because he's not in the game. Eli True Long, Courtney Ramey, whoever it is, I would expect them to find the mismatch and let him go to work.
Febres is with him on the far side into Nichols. And here they come. Break the press easily. 5 seconds. Down to 3. White going to work. Floater in the lane. Too strong. And Texas will go to the break. Down just 5. Like you said, not too bad the way you look at it. Let's go to the studio. Phil Murphy, Seth Greenberg, and Sean Farnham for halftime. It's a beautiful December night in Austin, Texas. Providence leading Texas 39-34 here at halftime. Providence fans in attendance loving it, especially the way they started alongside Robbie Hummel. I'm Chucky Kemp. Robbie, that's the key, though. Texas only down by 5 right now, and you would not have thought so the way they started.
Have to think that they feel very fortunate to just be down 5. They got great contributions from their freshmen, Jackson Hayes, Courtney Ramey combined for 18 points. Really good in the first half for the Longhorns.
On the other side, Providence built that lead with balance.
Well, it was balanced. You look at what they were able to do. 8 guys score, and it really got started. Isaiah Jackson hot from 3. We saw Malik White able to get to the paint, make plays for his team. And then to finish the half, Alpha Diallo establishing himself as the alpha male on this team, getting it going in the post, getting to the free throw line. A lot to like for Ed Cooley's squad. And if you look at what Texas is doing, if you look at their numbers, they have 3 assists. That cannot happen. In their losses, you look at the numbers, they average 11 assists a game. In their wins, it's been 16. So you have to think that has to change. Also turnovers, 7 turnovers in the first half. something that's been an issue the last 4 games for this Longhorn team.
Some of those were just silly turnovers. That is going to be goaltending on Royce Ham.
Ed Cooley told us, we're going to look to post David Duke. He's going to have a size mismatch, and right there, they start the half, go to the freshman. Royce Ham has to goaltend to save the bucket.
Run and jump on Mitru Long there, and you get Providence with a foul on that double team. Duke doesn't agree. Cooley definitely doesn't. That is David Duke's 3rd foul.
We'll see right now, how much does Ed Cooley trust David Duke? And you see it, he does have a lot of ball, but he is wrapped around him. You think about the freedom of movement in today's college basketball game. It's hard to trap people. You think about that cylinder rule, it's tough.
Coleman, spin throw from Osikowski, can't get it. Osikowski battling. Providence comes down with it. Here comes White. Misses on the defense from Ham. Coleman pushing the tempo. Long step in the lane, no good. Diallo rebounds.
Another missed opportunity. Royce Ham giving good minutes for this Texas team. Has not scored. Altering shots right there, going straight up. Matt Coleman, an opportunity in transition, but just not making anything. Layups, mid-range threes, it's been a struggle.
Coming into the second half, Texas +8 with Ham on the floor, -13 without him. Too long to Coleman.
Really good job by Khalif Young of impacting that ball screen, not allowing the handler to get into the paint or get going downhill.
Mitru Long step back, air ball. You're seeing Texas, that offense, especially early in the shot clock, they're running it not just at the 3-point line, but even further extended.
They have gotten pushed out, and again, when that shot clock gets into the 15-10 second area, this offense has sputtered. They just have not been able to score the ball.
There's Diallo working on Coleman again. There's Jackson Hayes. He has 3 fouls, but he's been a factor when he's been in there. It's been him and Courtney Ramey that have really sparked Texas. Diallo 3. Banks it in.
Oh, the bank is open. I don't think Alpha Diallo meant to do that, but a guy that's really worked on his jump shot. Now a threat from 3 last year, shot in the low 20s. This season, able to knock him down consistently, just so much harder to guard. You know he's got the facilitation part of his game, and you know he can score in the paint.
Big bucket from Coleman, and one chance for them. Get the bucket there, but you can sense almost Texas pressing a little bit.
Matt Coleman, again, an individual play. There's not an action there that's spurring on that shot. That's just Matt Coleman getting into the paint. And if Providence is going to make shots like that, it's going to be a long night. Not that Alpha Diallo can't make threes, but that thing came out of his hand. It didn't look like it had a chance, and the bank was open.
White's 3rd foul. Pressure on Duke in the backcourt, a steal for Texas. Febres hands off, Ham goes up, and he is fouled.
Great job by Jace Febres, just using that length, getting a hand on the basketball, making a play for this Texas team. I like the call to speed tempo again. I just think that with Texas's inability to score in the half court, the press is going to be something that you got a freshman point guard. You got a guy in Malik White in the backcourt that's still, acclimating to playing major minutes for this team. So I'd like to see a little bit of the Shaka Smart VCU press come out here, try to stir some havoc up.
And gets them both at the line, and here they come. Nate Watson comes in for Providence. Places Khalif Young. Ham will pressure the ball. Trouble inbounding. Just barely beyond Coleman. White, long jump stop. Blocked by Ham. The finish doesn't go. And here comes Coleman. Into the paint. Contact. Osikowski rebounds. Gets a putback. And here comes Texas.
Defense to offense. Have to make sure if you're Providence, you keep Dylan Osikowski off the offensive boards. But how about the athletes in this game? There's some athletic plays being made And finally, this Texas fan base able to get excited, get the crowd into it.
Backdoor to White. Nice little reverse layup with the left hand.
That's a heck of an answer and a heck of a finish there by Malik White. Knew the shot blocker was coming. Went with the reverse layup.
Up top to him, tries to lay it in, gets his own rebound. Royce Ham has been big for Texas. He keeps it going.
Given great minutes. Jackson Hayes in foul trouble. Jericho Sims a non-factor tonight. Royce Ham, a guy, they said he did a nice job this offseason putting some weight on, gaining muscle, and he's had a huge impact tonight, especially early on here in the second half.
Shaka Smart smacking the floor on the Texas sideline. Another stop for the Longhorns. Here comes Mitru Long across midcourt. Big possession here for the Longhorns. A foul going to be called on Nichols. You talked about it. Texas has been better when they've moved quickly. They've been in transition. That defense has led to offense.
They have such athletes, you know. You got to utilize that. When things aren't working with your half-court offense, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't try to press. You've got great length. It's really sped Providence up, and you got a guy like Royce Ham protecting the rim. Even when Providence has been able to break that press, he's been there to erase shots.
Mitru Long back to Febres. That's a nice little set play there. Febres cannot knock it down. He's missed a couple open looks.
That's Texas's best offensive possession of the night. What they were able to do there, Royce Ham flips the screen. Get a great look.
That's a couple big-time athletes meeting at the rim. Ham and Watson. Texas back in it. They trail by 4 to Providence. Thank you, Phil. Buffalo, really tough team mid-major this year. Providence leading Texas 46-42. Is Jackson Hayes back in the game, 3 fouls. And we've talked about this kid a lot today, Robbie, but he is something special, and attitude is a big thing with him.
Well, from a team chemistry standpoint, you see Jackson Hayes telling Royce Ham, hey, man, thanks for picking me up. You gave us great minutes here. And on a night when Jericho Sims hasn't been a factor in this game, Royce Ham coming in. You mentioned the plus-minus when he's been on the floor. Defending the rim, making plays. And now Jackson Hayes got to play with some foul trouble. See how the freshman handles that.
Jackson Hayes certainly has the bloodlines. His dad, currently the tight ends coach for the Bengals. He was an All-American tight end at Iowa, played in the NFL. His mom is the basketball superstar. Played basketball at Drake, Missouri Valley Player of the Year as a senior. Over 3,400 points in her career.
Superstar is the right word. She averaged 52 points a game in high school. That is insane. I like Ed Cooley going to a little zone, showing a little different look. How about that play? Man, he's got to finish that if you're Jace Febres.
Febres having a rough night, but that's Hayes showing off what makes him so special. Mitru Long foul that looks like Watson got him. It's Watson's 3rd.
Jackson Hayes making play. That's a great touch pass. Jace Febres short arms it to the rim. That's a great look, and like you said, Chuck, that's what's got NBA guys salivating over this kid. He can really play and has a great feel, but at the same time, so raw. So much he can still improve on.
Ramey cross court to Mitru Long. Into Hayes. Right hook. Short. Let's go back to the huddle. Shaka Smart.
We gotta fight on Diallo. We gotta fight. All right. They already got 4 fouls. Keep attacking down there. Keep attacking. Guys, it's about stops. It's about stops.
And I love that mentality. You know, you've already drawn 6 fouls now. He said 4, but since that time, they've gotten 2 more. So close to the bonus now. Get yourselves to the line. Gain confidence in your half-court offense from seeing the basketball go in. And again, credit Texas, they've hung around. They've taken some punches from this Providence team, but hanging on and playing better here in the second half.
Watson has to go off for Providence with 4 fouls. Athletically, he matches up better with Hayes than probably anyone on that side. And here's Texas in that full court pressure, down by 4. Trapping Duke in the corner. Broken the press pretty well tonight. Diallo working on Hayes. Duke baseline, not going to happen. Jackson Hayes eats it up. Couldn't handle the rebound, but my goodness.
David Duke thought he had an easy layup. Jackson Hayes says, no, you don't. Really nice drive by Duke, getting right to that rim. Has such a quick first step. Really can blow by you. Loves that rip and go. Alpha Diallo a little out of control right there.
Ramey comes back. He wants to run the point right now.
Now Providence going to a little 1-3-1 action here. Ed Cooley told us before the game, I'm not married to any defense. I'll play anything I think can help our team. This 1-3-1 morphs to a 2-3. It starts as a 1-3-1, morphs to a tandem. Tough to beat. Get into the middle of that zone.
Ramey, tough shot off balance. Tried to draw a foul. Here's Duke into the corner. Jackson. Osikowski guarding.
That's a beautiful move. Isaiah Jackson showing off the package. Got to get back, though.
Wow. Jackson Hayes, he can run.
You said Nate Watson probably a little better suited to guard Jackson Hayes. Just outrunning Khalif Young, and just an incredible athlete. Great length.
Hayes does have 3 fouls, so he had to be a little bit careful there on the bigger Young.
You have to find a way to flatten this zone. Make it to a 2-3 and work the basketball into the middle there. Right now, again, we're at 10 on the shot clock. That basketball is not broken the 3-point line.
Coleman trying to penetrate. Gets into the lane, tries to drop it off to Hayes. It'll stay at this end. There's 4 on the shot clock.
Look at where Alpha Diallo guarding. Providence in a zone, and they lost Dylan Osikowski, but again, another bunny just doesn't go.
Stolen away, it's Ramey. Trying to wait for his guys to get back. Comes Hayes with the screen. Coleman penetrating again, using his body corner. Febres, too strong. Osikowski is going to get called for a foul on Diallo. You can tell Febres is frustrated right now.
That's been one of those nights for Jace Febres. 2 of 8 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. And Matt Coleman really did a nice job there of driving with a purpose, jump stopping, finding a shooter. But to me, Febres looks like he did last season right now. Just unconfident in his shot, almost wishing it up there. And he shot much better this season. But tonight, hasn't gone for him.
Another guy with 3 fouls for Texas. It's Osikowski, so we'll see Kamaka Hepa again. Not seen Jericho Sims here in the second half yet. Jackson, top of the key. Hepa guarding. Feeding Diallo. Defense from Febres. Jackson squeezing through. Too strong. Coleman rebounds. Coleman using Hayes. Trying to go into Hayes. Gets position. Up strong and 1.
Well, Jackson Hayes doing his work early. See, getting nice position. Khalif Young goes through the passing lanes, opens the door. You give a guy with that type of length and that type of athleticism, that kind of look, you're in trouble.
That is 16 straight field goals for Jackson Hayes.
A lot of them dunks and looks around the rim, but still, those are contested shots. If you're Caleb Young, you got to push him off the block. You can't let him catch it there, and you got to make him make a post move over the top of you.
Cross-court pass, easy interception. Mitru Long. Corner, three, good. The lefty, Matt Coleman, knocks it down. Texas within one. Timeout, Providence. Texas coming back at home, down just one.
Well, Jackson Hayes continues his impressive streak. 16 consecutive field goals made in a row. Been a difference maker for the Longhorns tonight. Getting to the basket, showing off a little bit of everything. Getting an and one here and getting this Longhorn team right back in this game. Texas has seemed at times really teetering on the brink, but now down just one, and it's now time for Ed Cooley's team to answer after taking a punch here from this Texas Longhorn squad.
Hayes came in tonight shooting 71.9% from the field. He is up to 75% on this season. We talked earlier, he's turning some NBA scouts' heads. He's turning everyone in the nation's head, and if you don't know him yet, you will soon. Longhorns down by just one. Left side, Jackson. Jackson had those 2 threes in the first half. We went to the mic'd up. Nichols finished as well. We went to the mic'd up with Shaka Smart. He said that's enough. He hasn't hit one since. He's still played well, but has not hit another 3 yet.
That middle of the floor, you look at that zone, a lot of space. Use the ball screen to try to create that penetration. Pretty good look.
Open miss from Texas. That's really, if they don't come out on top tonight, this is a close game at the end and they lose, that's what they're going to look at. Just missed opportunities that are there, but they're not converting.
So that's 3-point shots are also in the paint. And Alpha Diallo working off the pin down there and using his size. Just a problem in the paint. Ed Cooley drawing up the double back door play. Good offense here. Get an easy one, Jimmy Nichols. And then Alpha Diallo showing off that weight room finish.
All right.
Ed Cooley doing some work out of that last timeout. And we're going to see Jimmy Nichols picking on his fellow freshman, Kamaka Hepa. Here's the double back door play. You see David Dukes through. Kamaka Hepa has turned his head, lost track of his man. Now it's time for Jimmy Nichols to go right to that rim. Easy basket's the name of the game. When things get tough, a great set there by Ed Cooley, stealing points on the road.
It's been great ball movement from Providence all night long. Diallo misses at the line. He scored 2 points in the first 15 minutes of this game, 13 points in the last 14 minutes.
He went to work at the end of the first half and has left some on the table at the free throw line. He's 4 of 7 tonight. And the season shooting pretty good, 72%.
Mitru Long, 6 to shoot. Osikowski giving him a screen. 3 to shoot, tough 3. Bank, not going to happen that time.
Just a stagnated possession. You know, that basketball needs to find the paint, find the short corner, flatten the zone. And you're just relying on a guy in Eli Mitru Long who's a good player and has played well, but you're relying on him to make a play against a set defense.
Great hustle by Coleman. It's off Texas.
You got to give credit to Matt Coleman in this second half. Really stepping up to the plate in terms of a physical matchup with Alpha Diallo. That's multiple times now where he's been able to get a deflection. And how about Eli Mitru-Long? Just a lazy pass from Isaiah Jackson, and well, that's not a great look. That's something where David Duke has to come to the basketball. And you see, you reach like that, you're giving that defender an opportunity to shoot the gap, and luckily for him, the foul is called, because that's 2 points for Texas otherwise.
It's big though. Duke has 4 now and he's off. 10 minutes to play, and it really falls to Mekhi Ashton Langford to run the point for Providence right now. Referees are going to go take a look at this one, it appears. And that was quick. This is big for Texas, already in the bonus with 10 minutes to play.
And that's why a possession like the last one is frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, you're in the bonus and you're settling for an Eli Mitru-Long contested 3. Again, Kerwin Roach not playing really hurts in that regard, because he's a guy that can penetrate gaps, get into the teeth of the defense. You're just dependent on Coleman, Mitru-Long, do so much work.
Ashton Langford to the left side, looking for help. Not a great start to this possession. Open look though, wide open from the mid-range. No good. Hayes rebounds. A foul is called. It'll go against Coleman. That's Coleman's 3rd.
They're going to say Matt Coleman just, he's got hold of Diallo's arm. Diallo, a guy that leads the Big East in rebounding. His size, 6'7", really impressive. Just a physical, aggressive player.
Coleman off, Febris on. Somebody's going to have to hit some shots for Texas down the stretch. That's really what's kept them from getting over the hump right now. Febris has missed quite a few. You can tell he's been frustrated tonight. Defense by Hayes. You see those long arms causing trouble. Ashton Langford waits for a screen. Diallo says, come my way. Diallo open 3. No good. Osikowski brings it in. We talked about it kind of the back end of the first half, but Diallo's really forced his way into this game and made his presence felt.
That foul's going to be on Jackson Hayes. That's a youthful mistake, picking up your 4th foul there. Clearly, Khalif Young has position. I mean, he has you. You're on his back, and you're going over the top. That's such an easy call for the official to make. Shaka Smart, he needs his freshman big right now. See the block out, has position, and really a nice block out by Young.
Top of the key, Diallo. Nichols almost lost that. Diallo wants it inside on Mitru-Long. They'll double immediately. Watson over the top, no good. Osikowski, he's had a couple big rebounds the last couple possessions. Mitru-Long. Here's Ramey, hasn't scored since the 10-10 mark in the first half. Trying to fix that tough floater. No, Watson has the rebound. Ashton Langford, almost an athletic finish inside. Here comes Ramey.
Both teams getting into that paint. Just missed opportunities on both sides.
Febris blocked by Nichols. Nichols bounce pass Watson. That's easy.
Well, it wasn't pretty.
It was not pretty.
But it is effective. Jimmy Nichols making a play, hooking up Nate Watson right at the rim.
6-0 run for Providence. When we come back, we'll take a look at this historic ending from the last Providence, Texas meeting.
How you doing? And dunk it. Don't take it. Cobb can shoot it. McGrath has to shoot it from the corner. McGrath the three. There's 3.7 to go. Now Texas a chance to win it. Tucker all the way to the foul line. Lays it up. Doesn't count. The officials are looking at each other. They're going to go to the monitor. It's got to be good. I think it is going to be good.
Well, Robbie, this is an interesting finish. PJ Tucker, you could see there the ball still in his hand when the clock hit 0. The refs looked at this for just under 10 minutes, 7 to 8 minute range, and finally counted it for PJ Tucker. Nothing was in sync. The clock said 0. The ball was still in his hand. It was the red light that they eventually went off of to call that good. Anyways, that ended up changing some rules in college basketball. That red light was not actually on the backboard, it was behind it.
Right. And
it was an interesting result, but now you see the lights all around the backboards in every college arena.
Well, a historic, game. We had some issues with some older arenas, and, and that's not synced. I'm sure those refs looked at each other like, what do we do? So, really an interesting, nugget that was the game that changed it. And here we are again here today.
It was fun. Dosakowski can't finish, he's fouled. It was fun hearing some of the accounts for Providence. I actually got a note from Tim Welsh, our colleague, this morning talking about that game, and he was the coach at Providence at the time. And at the end of it, kind of explained it, said it was so bizarre. They brought him and Rick Barnes over to look at it even, and at the end of it said, I still think they got it wrong to this day. I'll tell you what, it's hard to argue with them. Just odd they wouldn't just go off the clock at the time.
Just a bizarre situation, you're right.
Made its mark on the rule book. And here they are, 14 years later, meeting again in Austin this time. Sikowski gets both. That lead back down to 5. Trying to find a flow to this game. Both teams are right now, and we're stuck at that 5-point mark, but not really back and forth. Just no one finding a rhythm.
Texas going to go with some zone here. Both teams mixing up looks on the defensive end of the floor.
Ashton Langford, that's a big shot.
That's a huge shot for Mekhi Ashton Langford, a guy that's shooting 27% on the season. Big time recruit, big time get for Ed Cooley 2 seasons ago. Hasn't really played all that well this year. It's been better as of late, but that's a monster shot on the road.
Coleman mid-range, you see how off they are right now. That wasn't even close. 3 from Nichols. Off the mark, Coleman. They're going to try and push the tempo again. This is when they've went on their runs, is when they've got out in transition. Coleman with a finish.
Well, a bad shot by Jimmy Nichols leading to a run out for Matt Coleman. I'm sure Ed Cooley can't like that shot early in the shot clock. A guy in Nichols that can make shots from the perimeter, but probably not the guy that, when you got an 8-point lead on the road, you want taking an early one.
Eat some clock while you can. Jackson.
Ooh, that was smooth. And a guy in Isaiah Jackson that just has been through it. Experienced, playing good basketball right now, and takes his time, assesses the defense, just knocks down a tough step back.
True long.
Good pass.
Sikowski finishes and 1. Let's go back to the huddle with Shaka Smart.
Keep moving it. Keep attacking. He gets stops. He can break out and play, but we still got to make good decisions. Guys, it's an 8-minute game. Out of time. Okay? Don't worry about the time. Focus on our process.
Coaches love, having scrimmages in practice where it's 4-minute games, 8-minute games. You prep for these situations, and Shaka Smart's right. A lot of time left. Nice job on that last possession, setting a ball screen. And and allowing your point guard to go and make a play for a guy in Dylan Usikowski who has struggled tonight on the offensive end of the floor.
Providence in some big foul trouble right now. Texas in their own right is too. Providence with 3 guys with 4. Nichols, Duke, and Watson. Hayes has 4 for Texas. Usikowski with 3. Hayes is in there. He's got to be careful right here. And Texas forces a turnover. Coleman to work again. Lost the handle. Off of his foot, it looked like, and another turnover.
I just think both teams, whoever loses this game, going to look back and say, man, we had so many opportunities to take advantage of, whether that's turnovers or a layup there for Providence. Mekhi Ashton-Langford's done a nice job of facilitating this press break. Unfortunately, Nate Watson for Providence just loses the basketball.
Cross to Diallo. Langford, you're starting to see them take more time in the shot clock. Malik White. 3 to shoot. Ashton Langford call a blocking foul on Mitru Long.
Mekhi Ashton-Langford really stepping up to the plate here in crunch time for Providence. That shot clock winding down. You loved he didn't settle for a tough fadeaway jump shot as he could have, and not much time on the clock. And when you're the more physical, aggressive player, a lot of the time the referees are going to reward you for that, and that's exactly what he got right there.
Saturday, December 29th on ESPN2, a basketball doubleheader, noon Eastern. Davidson takes on number 9 UNC, and at 2, number 19 Kentucky faces Louisville. College basketball next Saturday at noon and 2 p.m. Eastern, live on ESPN2 and streaming on the app.
No love lost there. That's going to be a fun one. Louisville, Jordan Nwora really having a nice year, and Kentucky losing Quaddy Green, but a lot of talent still in Lexington.
Which rivalry better for you, Purdue and Indiana or Kentucky Louisville?
Oh, of course, Purdue, Indiana. Of course, that's going to be my answer. The best rivalry in college basketball, if you ask me.
That's not biased at all.
I will say, though, playing in rivalry games is truly an incredible experience as a player, whether that's Duke, Carolina, it's Louisville, Kentucky, Purdue, Indiana. So many good ones in the college basketball landscape, but there is no better feeling than going into your rival's home court and getting a win. And that is a special feeling.
Texas 5 of 11 at the free throw stripe in the second half. Proved that by 1 from Mitru Long. Longhorns still down 5. That's a pass that's tipped. White does a good job to recover, and they do break the press.
Really fortunate. That could have been trouble for Providence, and they get a lucky bounce. Texas unable to corral that basketball.
Trying to go inside to Watson on Ham. He's just a strong kid. Nate Watson, 6'10", 250 sophomore from Arlington, Virginia.
Well, he is, but if you're Royce Ham, you got to understand, he's trying to go to his right jump hook 95% of the time. I would like to see him, if you're a defender, I want to see him make a play with his left hand. Not that he can't, but those percentages with his right are so much higher than with his left. Name of the game. It's a physical one. Nate Watson going inside, right jump hook. We got a good one here in Austin.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Thanks, fellas. Hoping for a good finish here in Austin, Texas. Bobby, Providence trying to pull away right now. What do you see for each team? What has to be done to be able to come out on top?
Well, for Texas, Jackson Hayes back in the game. Has to play intelligent basketball here in the last 3:20. I'd expect Really Shaka Smart to go with some high ball screen. They love to have him as a roller going to the rim. On the Providence side of things, I think Alpha Diallo always a great choice to ISO. They love to also run cross screens for Nate Watson. I'd expect Providence to go inside.
Cross court to Osikowski. Big shot here. Dylan Osikowski.
Well, a huge time for Dylan Osikowski to drill a corner three, but how about the screen from Jackson Hayes? Screening the bottom man in the zone and gets his power forward a wide open look.
To White, now corner. Jackson, tough shot, no good. Rebound Diallo, shot clock violation.
Texas's defense right there, stepping up to the occasion. Providence running that tight flex, and Texas so locked in. Did a great job of trailing Alpha Diallo, not allowing him to curl that screen, get to his mid-range jumper.
Can they convert on the offensive end? Not been able to get over that hump here in the second half.
I think this is a great call to go back to the zone. Texas has had issues breaking it. We'll see. Can somebody make a play?
Febres, 6 to shoot. Mitru Long, got to get something. Look at some sort of look into the lane. High off the glass.
Eli Mitru Long making plays for this Texas offense, making something out of nothing there. Nice crossover dribble. Where's the help defense for Providence? And all of a sudden, you got a 2-point ball game.
Diallo, Mitru Long draws the charge. No, they'll call it a block.
We'll see Alpha Diallo. That's a bang-bang play, but I think Mitru Long still moving. How about the move, though? Crossover dribble, the explosion. And the fans here in Austin don't like the call. The bang-bang play, and I think still moving a little bit. I think it's a good call.
Big free throw for Diallo here, trying to push it to a 2-possession game. Osikowski pulls it down. Here come the Longhorns. Down just 3, but I'll be able to hit that shot. Hayes trying to get position inside.
Too. That's one where you probably should throw that into your big guy instead. Not a great shot from Matt Coleman.
Minute 30 to play. White contested 2 off the mark, and Watson almost had that off the tip. Texas another chance.
Yeah, this Providence offense is really interesting to watch. Ed Cooley has so many different ways and variations to run his flex, and it's not just a simple hit the high post and cut through. Really a tough guard.
Mitru Long passed up the 3 into the lane. Big shot, Febres off the mark again.
And a great look.
Yep.
Eli Mitru Long passed up a good one, and he went and got a great one. But it's been that kind of night for Jace Febres, and now Ed Cooley going to get an opportunity to draw something up in this huddle.
Tonight after NBA and after the buzzer on ESPN, catch SportsCenter with Stan and Neal. Post-game reaction from Staples Center. Highlights from Bucks Celtics. What deal means for Bryce Harper right now as he approaches free agency. SportsCenter after the Pelican Lakers on ESPN and the ESPN app. See this Providence team team really working the ball on offense, a team that you can tell just trusts each other. And Ed Cooley said, look, we keep it light, we have fun. These guys like being around each other. It's a good group of guys. It's a really talented team. And you got to remember, they don't have A.J. Reeves tonight. That is big right now, and they're about to seal a pretty nice win on the road.
Still a lot of time left.
Definitely.
This is a huge possession for Providence right here. But as for the A.J. Reeves thing, he's gotten off to a great freshman start. Great start to his freshman year. And you wonder, with Malik White really stepping to the occasion, will this help their depth come Big East play? But right now, a bigger question to be answered is what's Providence going to do on this possession? And I think you stick with your guns. It should be that guy right there, Alpha Diallo. I love the way that Cooley's been able to isolate him on the block at times tonight, and I'd expect that to happen. Been so good in the paint. Able to score the basketball. Look at his night, 16 points, 5 of 9 from the field, has struggled from the line, just 5 of 10. But a balanced attack from Providence tonight. So many guys with major contributions for this Friars offense.
6 points, 5 rebounds for Alpha here in the second half. Shaka Smart wants to take another look. 30-second timeout. Texas down 3 under 50 seconds to play, and they have been in a lot of these games. Still a fairly young team at some of their big positions, but been in a lot of close games.
They are battle tested, and this is where you want to lean on your most experienced guys. And unfortunately for Texas, Kerwin Roach unable to play tonight. So a lot of young faces on the floor. You're looking at Jace Feberts as a sophomore, Matt Coleman's a sophomore, Osikowski is a senior, Jackson Hayes is a freshman. Mitru Long has played in a ton of college games as a junior, transfer from Mount St. Mary's, but we'll see. This is a scary inbounds here for Makai Ashton Langford. You're throwing the ball in a big time situation. You got a guy like Jackson Hayes just draped on you.
He's trying to see. He really can't see much. Good job there by Jackson to come get it.
Making himself available to the basketball. That's a terrible feeling as the inbound guy.
Trying to run and jump. Ashton Langford hits the ground. Tried to stand up. Diallo to the rack. Hayes gets in the way of that, but an easy putback for Watson.
Well, what a sequence. I mean, Texas almost had him turned over, and now Texas going to turn the ball over themselves.
They're trying to foul right now. Diallo pushes it up the court to White. Back to Diallo. He's going to take it to the rack, and Hayes has to do it.
Well, I love the aggressive take there by Alpha Diallo. This last sequence, Texas running and jumping. Ashton Langford able to just keep his composure. Find Alpha Diallo. Jackson Hayes coming over to block that shot, and nobody cracking down on Nate Watson.
That's going to do it for Jackson Hayes. You mentioned the aggressive play by Diallo. Just a veteran play. Not sure if he knew exactly what he was doing, but obviously knew that Hayes was in a tough position. He might have known he had 4 fouls, though, and said, hey, let's get this guy out of here.
Well, he also understands that when you have a shot blocker at the rim, your best bet is to try to turn that thing over and crack it.
Yep.
And you go aggressively, you get some contact. He's going with the mindset of, I'm trying to punch this thing right on Jackson Hayes. You get contact and you're rewarded now with 2 free throws.
Hayes' night is done. Diallo 5 for 10 at the free throw line tonight. Big time free throws that lead up to 7. Texas has to have something here.
Doesn't have to be a 3, just have to get points. Like to see go to the rim. But hey, if you can make a tough contested 3, that works too.
Timeout Texas, down to 4. And again, Robbie hit the shot there, down 4, 16 seconds. As we take another look at Coleman. But when you look at their numbers, Febres, 2 of 11, 0 for 6 from 3. Those have been some good shots, too. Those are open looks. Coleman, before that shot, 4 of 14, 1 of 5 from 3. They have missed open looks, and you've got to think Shaka Smart's going to be laying in bed tonight thinking, man, we had it, and we just gave it to him.
Just missed opportunities, whether that's at the rim or also just great looks that you just don't knock down, and shots that they've made over the last 2 games. So, frustrating night. You say Matt Coleman's going to go 5 for 15. Jace Febres, 2 of 11. Dylan Osikowski, 3 of 9. On a night where Kerwin Roach, was under the weather and can't play, those guys are going to have to be the guys that stepped up to the plate and made plays for you, and it just hasn't materialized for Shaka Smart's attack tonight.
Ashton Langford, he's been big for Providence. When you look on the other side, Providence, a team that I think is going to open some eyes, and Ed Cooley said, look, we've got 7 starters. That's just how we're built, but really expanding on that even further tonight. You're seeing their depth. Duke had foul trouble early on. Ashton Langford steps in. This is a team that's going to be tough to deal with. They're a very balanced and solid team throughout.
And Ashton Langford, his minutes and his box score is not going to really wow you. Just 5 points, 1 assist. But David Duke goes out with foul trouble. He's come in. He's broken this press. He's handled pressure. He's made a big 3 here at the end of this game. And a guy that's really struggled, went through a stretch where he didn't get in the games for Ed Cooley's team, and have to think this is a confidence building moment for him.
Big inbound for the Friars. Oh, Mitru Long almost had it. He is upset. Right in front of us. Thought that might have went off Providence. Great hustle by him.
Well, Mitru Long wasn't happy about the call, and Mike E just looked at him and says, don't worry about it. We're going to go take a look.
Yeah.
And I just sang the praises of Mekhi Ashton Langford, but you're getting pressed at the end of the game. We've seen this already before. You got to come to the basketball. You're not banana cutting this down to try to get a layup. All you got to do is throw the ball in, get a catch, go to the free throw line, and knock down 2 free throws. Tough look.
It is.
That's a...
Has to be indisputable, which I'm not sure from those looks. It's definitely close. Could go either way, but I'm not sure they'll reverse it based on those looks. Certainly not the review we had in the 0-4 game that we saw a little bit earlier.
No, it's not. I mean, they both have a hand in there. It's so hard to tell.
I'd be surprised if they change this.
I just don't think there's enough evidence to overturn this.
Yeah. Texas will have to foul as soon as Providence does get it in, if they can. There's been a little bit of an issue tonight inbounding the ball. Providence, more turnovers against them tonight. 1 less 3. They didn't shoot a ton of 3s tonight. Texas has taken 23, only hit 6 of them.
Well, Providence has really done what they've done all season. They don't take a ton of 3s, but they knock down a pretty good rate of them. And they're shooting just under 39% on the year. And you look at tonight, 5 of 13, 38.5%. So they have been at their average. And Texas continues to be a team that when they make 3s, they can beat anybody in the country. They got a lot of talent on this team.
Top 40 in the country, Providence is in 3-point percentage. It's a long review, and again, just kind of goes back to what I was saying. It's taking this long, you're really having this much trouble. You would think that's just not enough there. You mentioned the assist numbers for Texas at halftime, just 8 right now. That's a season low for them. And it will be Providence basketball. Referee just gave us the word it was inconclusive, which what we thought it might be. 15 seconds to play. Into Diallo. Cooley, you're number 8. School record 5 straight NCAA tournaments.
And has a team in this year that they definitely can be an NCAA tournament team. As you said, nice depth on this roster. You get A.J. Reeves back from his foot injury. But a guy that can really coach and has really elevated this Providence program to where making the NCAA tournament is the norm.
Yep.
You know, now you look at what's the next step. That's winning multiple games in the NCAA tournament.
They made it the last 5 years, just 1 win in those 5 years. But like you said, that's where they're at this point. Hey, we're going to be there. Just need to find and make a run, and you know it's not an easy place to win.
It's also it's all about matchups, and that's one of those deals where you could have a great team and get a draw where it doesn't match up with you. And it's just a tough deal, but as you said, they have a great home court environment, and they have a lot of talent on this team.
Here comes Coleman, pulls up for 3. No good. Rebound Jackson, and Texas is going to let it dribble out. That is a great win for Providence, Robbie.
Well, Ed Cooley's team coming on the road, beating an incredibly talented Texas team. They grind this one out. Wasn't the prettiest, but I'm sure if you ask Ed Cooley, he will absolutely take a win in Austin.
Our final score, 71-65. Providence over Texas. Coming up next, Sports Center for Robbie Hummel. I'm Chucky Kemp. So long from Austin, Texas.